I want to do a quick video talking about the HIV situation with Carbonation and Nature Boy, and also Mama Willow, Serenity, you know, and things of that nature. Stephanie, whatever you want to call her. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, I noticed that Nature Boy was saying in his live that HIV is a myth, it's a hoax, and that it don't exist. And a lot of people think this guy's crazy, you know. But you got to understand, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of guys and a lot of gals in the black conscious community who subscribe to the same teaching and the same understanding that Nature Boy spewed out of his mouth today, saying that HIV don't exist. It's a hoax, it's fake, it's a fraud. And you have two of the godfathers, or two of the fathers of the modern black conscious community here in America, Dr. Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmitt, both saying that HIV don't exist. Now, I'm going to play a little video for you. It's one of the videos I saw years ago. Now, I want to state that I never took this guy seriously. I think one of the first videos I seen of him was him basically giving his life story. Because one of the things you have to understand before you listen to any one of these prolific speakers, one of these great speakers, you must know, or you want to do a background on who you're listening to. Now, Dr. Phil Valentine said himself in a video, he said that, and I use the word that, you know, to let you know, like basically I'm just saying in general, not for quote. But he said that he grew up a Catholic, and I think he was an altar boy or whatever, and pretty much, he left the Catholic faith and all that kind of stuff. But I'm not so sure of that, because you have the Catholics, they have another set of priests. They have a whole nother side to their priesthood, which is called the Jesuits, which was founded by Saint Ignatius, and it's basically the Luciferian teachings. You know what I'm saying? The like Lucifer is God, and God and the devil are one, and all that kind of stuff. A lot of that comes from Saint Ignatius, the the Jesuit teachings. And one of the missions of the Jesuits is to poison almost every other religion outside of the Catholic Church to cause confusion and things of that nature. So, like in almost every religion, you will have a Jesuit soldier uh, basically perverting that religion to take away the validity of that religion. And you know, like pretty much, we got this guy right here, Dr. Phil Valentine was even telling black people they need to get in tune, telling people that they need to get in tune with Lucifer and melanin are tied it together and all that kind of stuff. He has videos. You can look it up yourself. Type in Dr. Phil Valentine and Lucifer, and he goes into his pseudo spiel, which is bullshit. If you really look at things, see, the thing is, don't take nobody seriously online. You don't know these people. You don't know their agenda. You don't know how they're getting their money. None of these people. Like, I'm pretty sure this person right here, Eligio the Christ, Nature Boy, he's getting money from certain kind of type of individuals. I would say, when I first saw him, especially in this photo right here, right? When I first saw him online, knowing Greek mythology and things of that nature, and reading Greek mythology even as a child, and even Egyptian mythology. Um, he looks like a centaur. He looks like Pan. You know what I'm saying? And then that ties into pansexuality, and that may explain a lot of the wild, outrageous things that he have said based on sex. And Pan was also at the top. He was a man at his top of his body was a man. From his trunk up, where he was a man, and below he was a goat. He was depicted as a man with goat's legs, and he was also known to be disgusting in the pantheon of the gods. And the thing about Pan actually the Pan worshippers conducted their religious ceremonies. Excuse me, it's kind of late where I'm at. They conducted their religious ceremonies outside. There's pretty much not that many temples uh, in the Greek society that was dedicated to Pan. Pan was one of the few gods that were worshipped in nature. Now, Pan was also known for seducing nymphs. And we look at this brother, and I'm not going to be on here like trying to just go that deep, but these are the nymphs, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? These are the nymphs. Now, a lot of his stuff pretty much tied. It seems all complicated, and you can never can get it. But pretty much, it has a feeling. I seen him praying on a tree, hugging a tree, talking to the tree. A lot of Wiccans do that. That's a lot of Wiccan witchcraft, and that's also tying into like fairy magic. Now, you have Satanists and Wiccans that believe that they can go into the forest and can take certain drugs called ashwagandha, and ayahuasca. And I think he used to love talking about ayahuasca and all that kind of stuff. And they'll go out and basically like they go to Peru, they go to these little places, especially down in South America for whatever reason, South America or Mexico and Peru. I think Peru is one of their favorite spots for them to do this spirit walk, and they're supposed to go down there and meet Pan and all that kind of stuff, and they get to see the orbs and the fairies and everything like that. So a lot of this teaching is pretty much people followers of Pan and fairy magic and Wiccan. It's pretty much a Wiccan type of cult that you're seeing here. The higher self, lower self, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But I want to stay more on the subject, and I can expound on that if someone wants me to. But pretty much this is tied into Wiccan. It's a mix of Wiccan, uh, Black consciousness teachings, the basically the teachings of this guy and Bobby Hemmitt, this guy right here, um, who are both professed to be wizards, who both have professed to been into dark arts, and they have said it themselves, you know. But at the same time, they'll tell you that the God of the Bible don't exist. But at the same time, he will tell you, especially this guy, he will tell you that black people need to get into tune with Lucifer. But I don't want to give too much of my opinion, and so I want to give you the rundown on the AIDS thing that Nature Boy talked about. So pretty much, he got this ideology from these two guys, and because of these two guys, there are a lot of black conscious cats, you know, male and female, running around here who have been diagnosed for HIV, and they believe that if they don't take their medication, which is AZT, they will never get sick and they'll never die. From them contracting HIV. Now, there's a lot of word magic within this, as you can see, because this guy is pretty much going to he disagrees with Phil Valentine when he basically is talking about retrovirus. Like retroviruses are like uh, hepatitis, herpes, HIV, and and I'll let you hear it for yourself. I'm gonna just give you like a minute of like what they're talking about, but pretty much Dr. Phil Valentine wants to expose that AIDS is a hoax. It don't exist, like Nature Boy said earlier today. So let me play it.
Degenerative diseases, even Duesberg proved that the degeneration can only be manifested through a cofactor, which is invariably drugs.
That's not true.
And you know, with his brother, based upon, you know, brother, from your research, that what he said from his research is untrue.
Well, anyway, you can get degenerative diseases from sexual contact.
But degenerative diseases, brother, shows that degenerative means over a period of time. That means that over a period of 15 years, you could be dying of a specific disease that they're telling you that you're catching over a period of 15 years. That means that something that you are doing is breaking down the integrity over those 15 years. Now you're saying...
No, that's not true. I'm saying you can catch hepatitis B from sex and go quite for 20 years and not know you have it and spread it to people.
That's what I'm saying. But I have just said that.
And then
But what is the, but I'm saying, what are the mitigating circumstances that creates that point where we say, bam? Time. Now, time is a killer now.
Now, see, that's that bullshit. He finna play with the word time. Now, you're gonna go and put your life on the line based upon this dude's bullshit and his semantics on the word time. Right? So, as you can see, and this guy seems very intelligent, man. He really does. And a lot of his confidence came from this guy right here, Dr. Robert Wilner. He injects himself on live camera with HIV from a well-known AIDS patient. He has done it numerous times. Now, Dr. Phil Valentine at this point felt so confident because I guess I think one of the videos, I'm not so sure, but one of the videos that he saw, and he knew about Dr. Robert Wilner, and he felt confident saying that HIV don't exist because there's a doctor running around injecting himself with HIV. Now, I don't know if it was this video. I think he did maybe 2 or 3 videos about HIV being a hoax. Now, and he also believed that the earth is flat too. But anyway, this is what Robert Wilner had to say, and I'm going to let you hear it for yourself. But Robert Wilner is going to give you half-truths. He's a doctor, and he also knows about genetics. He also knows about genetic mutations, and there are certain people who cannot contract certain viruses. But I'm going to let you hear what he has to say about, for your own, you can go and research these videos on your own.
I do the act of sticking my finger and create another blood brother in my life as the ancient Indians have done, and I will get another one today, because I'm not afraid of getting AIDS. I know as a scientist that there is nothing to fear. I know what causes AIDS. I am not going to lie to others nor myself about it. I don't like sticking myself with a needle because it hurts. And if you've ever seen my expression on pictures, you know that to be true. So, Kim Freitas. Kim, are you here? Yeah. We're going to become blood brothers. Yeah. And please, to the press and to everyone else.
So basically, in this video, like countless videos or countless reports of this doctor, he injects himself with blood from a known AIDS patient, and he don't get infected. Now, what they don't tell you about HIV, which a lot of people don't even talk about, is Delta 32. There's a genetic mutation in most Europeans due to the fact that they was exposed to the plague, the bubonic plague, in when it was in the Middle Ages. So I'm gonna pull up the article. This is Science Daily. You can research this. This is even dated April 3rd, 2005. Biologists discover why 10% of Europeans are safe from HIV infection. Biologists at the University of Liverpool have discovered how the plague of the Middle Ages have made around 10% of Europeans resistant to HIV. And that even shows even with gay men who are highly susceptible to HIV, where you see black men, like one out of two, CDC says 1 out of 2 black men will who participate in homosexual activity will contract HIV in their lifetime. It's just like if you did it one time. So black men are extremely susceptible to this HIV, to HIV, to AIDS, or whatever you want to call it. But because 10% of Europeans are resistant to HIV, you may have a lot of gay white men who have been living for years in that lifestyle, and they will never contract HIV as a result of having CCR5 Delta 32, the genetic mutation that prevents them from contracting HIV. And that was the reason why, one of the reasons why Dr. Phil Valentine felt so confident telling his student Nature Boy that it was okay to sleep with people with HIV because it don't exist. So the black conscious community, in truth, is of shame of a person who has taken the information that was presented to him by his teachers. They're ashamed of Nature Boy taking it literally on a lot of levels. Because at the end of the day, Nature Boy can always pull up the 2 heavy hitters of the modern black conscious community, Dr. Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmitt. You get what I'm saying? And like the thing is, all these guys, I even say put Nature Boy in that, are confidence men. They're great speakers. They speak with passion. They talk like pastors, all of them. And I believe that most of these guys have very dark past that they're not sharing with people. You get what I'm saying? So like we look at, I'm gonna just let you hear a little bit of Bobby Hemmitt in this video.
Okay. First of all, let's go into a little history of this. Whatever the plan was when we first had this, when we first found out about this AIDS thing in 1982, is basically when the country found out about it. Now, I will not sit up here and say that certain things went on because they first put it in the homosexual community.
Mm-hmm.
The homosexual community.
Right there.
Right. I will say this particular much, that whatever went down in Africa and what went down in the past 13 years, other than the past 20 years, of the past 15 years or 14 years, from 1990 on up, has been a conspiracy that, first of all, you can't have a real sexually transmitted disease in this country and have it run rampant, because that means that it would get out of control to the point where, as if you don't have a cure for it, everybody would have been infected by now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that means that in so many words that the only way that they can control something is to give you the illusion that there is this sexually transmitted disease and then kill you based on the cure. Mm-hmm. In this case,
That is the premises. That is the premises of the understanding of why people get sick in the black conscious community. the AZT, the drugs, is what's actually killing you. And there's some truth into that, and there's truth in that. But at the same time, you had people in Africa, it's documented, who were dying at a faster rate because they wasn't getting any drugs whatsoever. You have to understand HIV is an artificially made eugenics program virus. And it basically made it where if everyone on the planet contracted HIV, the only people that be left standing are the 10% of the Europeans who have the genetic mutation Delta 32. And what that would mean is everyone on the earth could die of this disease, and only a small group of white people will survive it. And 10% of the European population is quite a lot. That's in the millions, actually. So, if that's the case, we have to understand and to do just reasonable deduction is that this disease is designed to kill off all other populations of the earth, as you can see. And that's one of the reasons why they really haven't found a cure when they actually most likely have a cure for this disease. You get what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, Dr. Phil Valentine and Bobby Hemmitt sanctioned the behavior of Nature Boy and Carbonation with their total disregard of the reality of these diseases that they are now allegedly passing around to each other and getting each other sick. And if Nature Boy, if you listen to this video, I just want to say to you, send the girl home. And it don't even matter if she doesn't want to go. Kick her out. Let her get some help. She looks like she's gonna die within a few months. And I'm not beating up on you, although you may feel like that I am. But at the same time, I do believe that you are the black conscious Jesus Christ of the black conscious community. You are the crystallization of that information. But that information that you have taken in is in error. Therefore, you are in error also. So, at the end of the day, it's all vanity and vexation of spirit. It's all bullshit. Come out of that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, if I could go online and I could look at your page and I could see you, I could see what you really got going on, and I'm just some guy, right? I'm not claiming to be God. I'm not claiming to be any of those things, but at the same time, I can tell that you're tapping into the pan energy. I can tell that the women that are around you are tapping into fairy energy, nymph energy, or whatever they want to tap into, whatever y'all doing down there. You know what I'm saying? But man, at the end of the day, there's a way to seem right unto a man, but the ways thereof is death. It seems right. It seems because it feels good. It feels good to be praised. It feels good to have thousands of followers and all these people around you and everything like that. But at the end of the day, you're feeling unfulfilled. You're feeling dark. You're feeling evil at this point. You're off scouring of society at this point. Because you have given over to your beast-like behavior. Your beast lower self. But at the same time, you say the higher self and the lower self. This obviously is the lower self. If people are dying around you, people are getting sick around you. And if you denying it, it's not going to change reality, brother. It's not going to change what you got set up down there. Reality don't, as we know, reality don't give a fuck about you not giving a fuck about it. Reality is the coldest pimp, and it's a gorilla. So come up out of that, brother. Understand it's all bullshit, and y'all get some help.